Welcome to our latest edition of Hometown Hero, brought to you by Overhead Door Company. And today we have with us
Cathryn Caw. I am an emergency communications manager at Frederick County Emergency Communications.
Now, when I see that, the first thing I'm thinking of is your dispatcher. Do you send people, police officers, firefighters on calls? Because we listen to the scanners all the time, and we know how hard these dispatchers work. We're spying on you, but is that what you do?
Yes, we do. We take the 911 calls as well as non-emergency calls for folks in Frederick County, and we dispatch for fire, EMS, and police.
And so what is your job there? Do you do it all?
Yes, yep, we do it all.
So what's a typical day like for you? Usually when we come in the morning, we hear several different voices, and they are there for hours and do such a great job. What's a typical day like for you?
Our shifts start at 6 a.m. and at 6 p.m., and then the night shift 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And we always rotate. We're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Yes, you certainly are. What's the mission of 911 Emergency Communications?
Taking care of visitors and citizens of Frederick County, and of course the first responders, making sure that they're safe and getting the information they need to help people.
And I know you have to be a fast typer, but and really think of the information that you're hearing. How do you go through training to get a position like you?
Well, we're always hiring, usually, and we sit with new call takers for a few weeks to a few months. It just kind of depends on the types of calls they're getting and how they're progressing in training. They are in a classroom setting, training and getting certified for 2 months, and then they come out onto the floor and spend probably another month to 3 months with a tethered trainer.
Nice.
And then they're on their own.
Very
doing
good.
a great job.
How long have you been there?
April will be 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
With Frederick County. Thank you so much, because not an easy job to do. Do you have a permanent shift or does it rotate?
I recently got put on a shift that was different from the one I've been on for the last 2 years. But generally we are with the same shift for at least a couple of years.
Because we hear these 911 dispatchers, call takers all the time when we're in here, and we're here 24/7. So thank you so much for all your hard work. Now, down to the really tough questions. What was the craziest call that you've ever had to take where you've said, oh my gosh, are you serious? Was it like a baby being born? Or, there's sometimes we hear about horses running loose. I mean, we just hear the craziest stuff. And then it's like a couch in the middle of Interstate 70. I want that.
We get the most calls about things in the middle of the highway, which is great because it's super dangerous. I don't know if it's the craziest call, but it was very cliche. We got a call for a cat in a tree.
A cat in a tree?
It cracks me up every time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really hard to say what the craziest one is. People surprise you every day.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. And the toughest time it was for you working with emergency communications. Have you ever gotten snowed in there? Is that like a tough time?
A couple of years ago when we had a lot of snow, we were there for a long time, but they were able to get most of us a hotel room in Frederick so that we could be transported back and forth safely. But we didn't all have to drive to our homes because we really couldn't get there.
Yeah,
so
very good. I hope they fed you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I hope Frederick County feeds their employees good.
They do well.
Okay,
they do.
Good.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to be like a volunteer employee next snowstorm.
Awesome, yeah.
Well, if somebody wants more information about possibly working with you, with your department, how can they get that?
I would say check Frederick County's website, and we are always having hiring events. Usually they're at the Public Safety Training Center, so just keep an eye out for that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for listening to Hometown Heroes with Overhead Door Company, and we appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.